Hello and welcome. Let's talk about something that so many of us go through in a long-term relationship, but we rarely talk about what it actually is. I'm talking about that shift, from that initial heart-pounding, can't eat, can't sleep excitement to something a little quieter. We're going to dive into how love evolves and why that change might just be the most beautiful part of the whole story. Because this is the question, right? This is the one that keeps people up at night. When the butterflies aren't going crazy anymore and that intense rush starts to fade, it is so easy to think, oh no, is it over? Did we lose that spark? But what if I told you the answer is way more complex and honestly, a lot more hopeful than that? Okay, so to really get this, we have to start at the beginning, that incredible, unforgettable fireworks stage. Every single long-term relationship starts right here. And boy, what a feeling it is. Do you remember this? I mean, really think back. Those conversations that went on for hours but felt like 5 minutes. The way your entire day could be made just by a single text message popping up on your screen. Even the most boring things like going to the grocery store suddenly felt like this epic romantic adventure. Everything just felt so dramatic and intense, almost like a scene out of a movie. That's the magic we're talking about. But here's the thing about that feeling. As powerful and amazing as it is, it's actually not designed to last forever. And the reason for that isn't some emotional failing, it's straight up biology. Let's take a look at what's really going on inside your brain. There's this big psychological term for it, hedonic adaptation. But all that really means is that our brains are literally wired to get used to things, even the really, really good things. It doesn't matter if it's a new promotion, a dream car, or, yes, a new person you're head over heels for. That initial high, by its very nature, has to level out over time. So here's how it plays out. In the beginning, your brain is just flooded with all these feel-good chemicals, especially dopamine, and that creates the fireworks. But your brain physically cannot keep that level of intensity up forever. It would be exhausting. So it has to adapt. It has to calm down. Now, this isn't a sign of failure. It's a totally natural transition to a different kind of love, what psychologists often call companion love. And this brings us to the big idea here, the central metaphor. We're not talking about a fire going out completely. Nope, we're talking about it changing its form. So let's actually compare these two stages of love side by side. On one side, you've got fireworks love. It's all about passion, intensity, drama, excitement. It's the big explosion that gets everything started. But then, on the other side, you have campfire love. This is about stability, security, and a deep, lasting heat. It's a totally different kind of energy, It's not a sudden bang in the sky, but it's that reliable, steady warmth you can actually build a life around. So, why do we feel like something's wrong when we shift from fireworks to a campfire? Well, just think about almost every love story you've ever seen in a movie. Like The Notebook or Titanic. They focus almost 100% on that dramatic, passionate fireworks part. They almost never show the quiet, stable, comfortable years that come after. And that can really mess with our heads, making us feel like our real-life relationship is somehow falling short. This leads to another really common challenge in long-term relationships. It's something we can call the familiarity paradox. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The love story itself, the movie of your relationship, it hasn't changed, but your brain's experience of it has. Your brain is a novelty-seeking machine, and the more familiar someone becomes, well, the less new they feel. That initial magic of the first watch gets replaced by the comfort of knowing every line by heart. And here's the paradox, the really tricky part. That comfort and that routine, which are actually signs of a super secure bond, can sometimes be misinterpreted as emotional distance. If we're not being intentional about it, that ease of familiarity can start to feel like you're drifting apart, even when you're sitting right next to each other on the couch. Okay, so if our brains are wired to get used to things, and familiarity can sometimes feel like distance, then what in the world are we supposed to do? Well, this brings us to the most empowering part of this whole journey. It just requires a little shift in how we think about love. And this right here, this is the key. While that fireworks stage feels completely effortless, because your brain chemistry is doing all the heavy lifting, long-term love requires intention. It becomes a practice. It's a series of conscious choices that you make day in and day out. A great way to think about it is like your relationship is a garden. It needs consistent care if you want it to thrive, right? This means actively choosing to show up for your partner. It means carving out real time for those deep conversations, not just talking about who's taking out the trash. It's about trying new things together to bring back that sense of discovery and novelty. It's all about giving consistent, positive attention. And I really want to leave you with this reassurance. If your relationship feels more like a quiet, steady campfire than a flashy fireworks show, it does not mean the love is gone. Honestly, more often than not, it's a sign of success. It is proof that you've built something stable, warm, and truly designed to last. This whole evolution, this is a shared human experience. So the final question I have for you is just something to think about. In your own relationships with partners, with friends, with family, what have you done to tend that garden and keep that campfire burning bright? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.